Here is my tag that I've created for the National Scrapbooking Day challenge that I'm giving away as a freebie, and I have challenged everybody to try to figure out how to create this element where it looks like it's been engraved down into the background. And so I'm going to quickly show you how I did it. And first I'm going to delete the layer that I have that actually applies that effect. And what I did for this one, and you can use text to do this also, is to choose a shape tool, and I hold down my control key to keep this shape proportionate, and I'm going to simplify it. Now this is so simple, you won't believe how easy this is, but I'm going to hold down my control key and click right here on the thumbnail in the layers palette, and you'll see now I have marching ants around that light shape, and I can go ahead and turn off the visibility of that layer because I really don't need it anymore. And I am going to go up to the new adjustment layer icon and choose levels and click OK. Now you'll notice over here in my layers palette that I have now a layers mask, and it has the shape of that light bulb in it. However, you still cannot see anything over here out on my desktop. I'm going to go to the effects palette, choose bevels, and double click on simple inner, and now you can see I have a beveled light bulb. However, it's not being engraved down into the paper because it's going up. So I'm going to double click on the FX here in the layers palette to bring up the style editor, and I'm simply going to choose down and OK, and now you can see I have engraved that light bulb down into the background paper. I'm sure there's a lot of other ways and a lot better ways that you can do it in the full version of Photoshop, but this is a simple, quick, and effective way that you can do that in Photoshop Elements. In addition, this light bulb that is actually on the layers mask can still be moved around on that mask. Pretty cool, huh? I've enjoyed spending time with you with this challenge, and I look forward to doing the next one with you. Let's continue with part 2 of this tutorial. Learning never ends, and that is just what I always say, is that digital scrapbooking is so addictive because there's always something new to learn, and I've really enjoyed playing with this technique and testing all the ideas and methods that have been coming at us in the forum. And there is always many ways to do one thing, and it's just amazing me how many ways we're finding to do this engraved look. And so I would like to share some things, other ways of doing this method. And I'm going to zoom in, and here's my original light bulb in my first tutorial, and I want to share that someone, and I'm trying to stay away from names because I don't want to give wrong credits because I've gotten so many ideas from so many different people, but someone suggested she use the simple sharp inner bevel rather than, which is located here in Photoshop Elements, and I had used just the simple inner, and she had used the simple sharp, And so I had tested it, and this was the result. And let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see. And I definitely liked the way this looked better than this. However, tonight, in preparing for this tutorial, I realized something. On this original one, if I open it up, I've got the size set at 21. On the simple inner bevel, I had moved it all the way down to 4. And so watch what happens if I take this original one and move it all the way down to 4. So now it actually has a much finer look, and I almost like it, continue to like it better than the simple sharp inner. I'm sorry, the names are so close, but as you can see, either one works, and you just have to play with the settings to get what you need and what you feel is the best look for what you are creating. I'm going to go ahead and turn these two off, and let's show you, well, some other methods. Well, first, let me turn this one back on. Here is something that was shared, and I really liked the idea. I'm going to turn this layer on, and all this layer is a regular copy. Let me show you. Hold down the Alt key and click on this eye. It is just the shape cut out of the background layer. And this layer has the multiply blending mode applied to it, and you can see what a great effect. Let me turn the visibility on and off. You can see what a great effect that has. And so by using several layers, you can really change the way this bevel looks and how deep it looks. So I really liked that idea. Now let's go up here to this method. I've marked it, some of these in here to remind myself everything I need to share. This is the visibility method, and so I'm going to turn this layer on. And what I have here, I'm going to hold down the Alt key and click on this eye, is just the background paper cut into the shape, and this has the exact same layer style as this simple sharp inner does, applied to it with the bevel going down. And so you can see that is a great effect there, but if I try to move this over another layer, you can see now that it's not working, it's not portable. As you've seen me saying in the forums, we want to make this portable so that we can move it over any layer and over any pattern in the paper. And so to fix this, as simple as it might be, is to go to the effects palette and go down to visibility, choose visibility, and you'll have 3 types of layer styles here for visibility: ghosted, hide, and show. And let's make sure we're on the correct layer, and simply click hide, and you see what happens. Now it's portable. I can move this anywhere. What that does is hide the original yellow. I don't know how to explain how it does, but where the yellow was in the original shape. Now what I want to do is do some comparison, and if you go back down here and turn this one back on, and we'll move this back up and zoom in, you can see that these two are nearly identical. So the first method I used, using the masks and in the first part of the tutorial, and this visibility method are actually identical in look, and so you can basically use either one of them, whichever method is most comfortable for you or that you might remember easiest, and they will both work. Now let's go on and do another method. Here I have just a black shape, and I have that same bevel headed down applied to it, but this is important that the shape be black, because as we've learned recently in several of the tutorials, and this just seems to keep coming back, if you go into the color picker and you look, black has 0, 0, and 0. So black is the absence of any color. And these are all 0 actually, and no matter which color guide that you work from. And so in the difference blending mode, if you take nothing from nothing, what do you get? Nothing. And so that's just an easy way to remember how the difference mode works. And so if we apply the difference mode, you're going to see now we have that inner bevel. And so the only difference we did here was we made it black instead of the color of the background paper, and we changed it to difference mode. You know, if we hit the back button and let's just try it, let's go back up to the visibility, and you hit it, and even though it's black rather than cut from the background paper, the visibility of course still works. But if you wanted to do it with just the blending mode, where is it? There we go. That works, but you will notice that it is portable. But let's turn on this bevel and compare the differences. I'm going to zoom way in and move these closer to each other, and now you can see how that method looks a little rougher, a little blacker than the other method. It's almost a little crisper. If that's the look that you're going for, certainly you could utilize it, but I just don't think it's quite as good of a method. And now here's one, the last method. I have here the shape once again just cut out of the background paper, and if you go to the filter drop down menu, stylize, and choose emboss, you're going to get this pop-up box, and I found it quite difficult to find the perfect settings for this. You see, if I raise it up too high, it does some really funky things. I've got it all the way down here at 4 or 5. You can see if this slider is moved over, it doesn't look like it goes down into the paper at all. It looks more like it's being raised up, and so this setting had to be fairly high. And then you can go and choose hard light, and you can see that gives a whole another look to it. You can almost see the way the hard light blending mode is making I grabbed the paper to move it, is making the lines as it blends with the paper underneath it. It almost looks like it's kind of opaque in that area in there, and so if that's the look you like, that may be another method that you could utilize to do this, and that's something that I did not think of at all. And so I want to go and check this method here. Tell you what I want to do is take off everything. I just have one little idea to check here. We're going to clear that layer style. I wanted to make sure that this is all black. And let's see, edit, fill selection with black. Am I still seeing some gray there? Let's go and use the hue and saturation adjustment and take all color out of it that way. I'm not so sure that my original shape doesn't have some, you can see there, I'm not so sure it doesn't have some other colors in it that might be causing it to be not as good of a quality as the original. In fact, I don't know how to get rid of that. And now I'm going to play, because I love a good challenge. That's whatever that is. It's, am I on the wrong layer? I'm on the right layer. Ah, there we go. I got rid of those funky colors, but now the shape is very jagged, so I don't know what's going on here. Let's go ahead and copy the layer style, put it on here, and this was where we used well, I can't copy that layer style because that has the visibility out of it. Copy layer style from this original, paste layer style, and let's go down to the difference mode. You can see it still is not as good as the other one, but it could be because I have jaggies, and I'm not going to spend any more time playing with that. You can play with it. You know how to do it, so you can take time playing and comparing, and you can always let me know in the forums. And I wanted to show you this too. Here's some sand. Somebody had mentioned that they wanted to learn how to do this engraving into the sand, and so I just brought some sand into this file in order to show you that this also works with those photographs where you have writing in the sand. When you've been out on the beach playing and taken a beautiful photo and you want to put a quote in the sand, here it is. You can go for it. And so if you have any questions, ask in the forum. I'm always more than willing to play, and I had such a great time this week, and I can't wait to come up with the next challenge so we can all play again.